Zhao's first day at her new school starts with chaos. Spotting a thief stealing a wallet, she takes off in pursuit, but in the rush, her diary falls into the hands of Yu, her teasing friend who uncovers her deepest secrets. Things spiral further when the thief leads her into a trap. 3 thugs corner her. But Zhao isn't ordinary. With precise martial arts moves, she defeats them all, leaving them bruised and stunned. As if that wasn't enough, Zhao's secret crush, Xuan, witnesses her next disaster. A collision that tears his pants, revealing his cartoon-themed underwear to the entire school. Laughter erupts, and Xuan storms off, humiliated, while Zhao is left facing his angry fan club, who brand her the villain of the day. What starts as a promising morning quickly turns into a whirlwind of secrets, embarrassment, and unexpected battles. Zhao vows to apologize to Xuan, but when she finally musters the courage, Yu starts arguing with him, escalating tensions. In an awkward attempt to apologize, Zhao accidentally bumps into Xuan, knocking him over and tearing his shirt. Embarrassed, she offers to sew it back together in the infirmary. As she works, their close proximity makes Xuan visibly flustered, and he awkwardly takes over the sewing himself. A teacher walks in, reprimanding Zhao for her clumsiness, but Xuan defends her, earning her admiration. However, he sternly warns her to be more careful, as her actions might get her expelled. Later, during a challenging class exam, Xuan impresses everyone with his intelligence by solving a problem no one else could. Zhao, captivated by him, zones out and fails to answer when the teacher calls on her, drawing laughter from the class. Xuan silences the mockery but is punished by being assigned classroom cleaning duty. Zhao decides to bring him food but encounters a group of bullies on the way. Remembering her promise to Xuan to avoid fights, she avoids confrontation but demonstrates her strength by breaking a metal bar, scaring them off. Back at school, Yu attempts to flirt with Zhao while they share a juice, but Xuan spots them and assumes they're dating. Later, Yu visits Zhao's home, only to be threatened by her overprotective father, who warns him to stay away from his daughter. That night, Zhao dreams of being close to Xuan, only to wake up and realize she has her period. Embarrassed, she heads to a store for supplies, where she bumps into Xuan again. When she realizes she forgot her money, Xuan gallantly offers to pay, despite her protests. The next day, she nervously tries to return the money but panics under his intense gaze and runs off, leaving him confused. Jealous of Xuan, Yu challenges him to a basketball game for Zhao's affection. The game becomes heated, with Yu resorting to cheating. When Xuan confronts him, things escalate into a physical altercation. Zhao intervenes, begging for peace, but a teacher misinterprets the situation and blames Zhao for the fight. In the principal's office, Xuan takes responsibility to protect Zhao, even though it risks his chances of getting into a prestigious university. The principal scolds him harshly, but Xuan remains steadfast, earning Zhao's deep gratitude. When Zhao faints later, Xuan carries her to the infirmary, despite the strain, and cares for her tenderly. Touched by his kindness, Zhao begins to see him as her knight in shining armor. However, Xuan's father blames Zhao for distracting his son from his studies. Determined to prove herself, Zhao agrees to let Xuan tutor her. Their study sessions are awkward at first, filled with nervous glances and misunderstandings, but Xuan's encouragement helps her improve. When she finally passes her exams, the class suspects she cheated. Zhao defends herself, giving Xuan credit for helping her, clearing her name. Their bond deepens, but Yu grows increasingly jealous. He shows up unannounced at Zhao's house one evening, forcing Xuan to hide in the bathroom. Yu becomes suspicious but doesn't find Xuan. Later, Xuan confronts Zhao, frustrated by the need to hide his feelings, and asks if Yu is her boyfriend. She assures him they're just friends, but the tension lingers. The school's final soccer match against a rival team becomes a turning point. When a teammate is injured, Zhao volunteers to play. The opposing team mocks her for being a girl, but she proves them wrong by scoring a spectacular goal. Despite taking a rough hit, Xuan helps her up with care, and her pain melts away in his presence. After the game, Xuan buys her ice cream, and she shyly imagines it as a kiss from him. However, her joy is short-lived when the teacher announces that her poor grades might lead to expulsion. Xuan promises to help her improve, but the study sessions become increasingly intimate, making both of them flustered. Despite the challenges, Zhao surprises everyone by excelling in her final exams. Xuan, proud of her progress, turns down an opportunity to study abroad, choosing to stay by her side. Their blossoming relationship faces new trials, but through each obstacle, Xiao and Zwan grow closer, bound by mutual respect, care, and love. Xiao accidentally hits Zwan on the head with a ball, leaving him momentarily stunned. She quickly rushes to bring him ice for his precious head, playfully remarking that she wishes for a boyfriend as tall as him. In that moment, a special connection sparks between them. Both successfully pass their final exams and are admitted to medical school, an achievement that excites Zwan. However, Yu becomes jealous, and during an incident where they all fall into a bucket of water, Yu saves them but uses the opportunity to manipulate the situation. Zwan begins to believe Yu will always interfere in their relationship, leading him to distance himself from Xiao. On her first day of university, Xiao searches for him but instead encounters a chaotic scene with a runaway pig. The pig's owner, Senj, the most popular student on campus, angrily confronts her, claiming she disturbed his prized pet. Senj boasts about his wealth and threatens to make her life miserable. Xiao, unfazed, stands her ground, and Senj begins to admire her fiery spirit. Frustrated, he jokes that if she punches him, she must agree to date him. Xiao, irritated, strikes him, leaving him with a bloody nose. Senj, humiliated, retaliates by sending a drone to pelt her with ice. Xiao counters with a swift kick, destroying the drone and calling Senj out for exploiting women. As tensions rise, Zwan arrives and warns Senj not to underestimate Xiao, revealing she is a karate champion. Xiao is taken aback by Zwan's new, polished look and nervously compliments him. Zwan coldly responds, suggesting she might not be smart enough for medical school and belongs in sports instead. Xiao, determined, vows to prove she'll become the best doctor in the country. Before the conversation can continue, Yu interrupts, irritating Zwan with his persistent presence. Later, Xiao learns from her roommates that Zwan has a girlfriend, leaving her shocked and curious. She begins to investigate the girl, who turns out to be Chen, a graceful dancer. During an awkward lunch where both Zwan and Yu compete to impress Xiao by paying for the meal, Chen appears, claiming Zwan as her boyfriend and announcing plans to introduce him to her parents. Xiao feels jealous as she notices how Zwan looks at Chen with admiration, the kind of love she secretly desires from him. Xiao spies on Chen and discovers that Chen knows of her because they share a room. When confronted by Xiao, Zwan brushes her off, pretending not to know her well. Furious, Xiao catches him flirting with another girl one evening and punches him in frustration. Zwan, amused and slightly dazed, jokes that she owes him a kiss to make up for it. Xiao refuses, declaring that her heart belongs to someone else. Later, Zwan compliments her eyes, softening the tension between them. During a lecture, Xiao becomes distracted by her thoughts of Zwan. The professor notices and embarrasses her in front of the class, even tearing her pants by accident. Humiliated, Xiao tries to hold her composure, but Zwan defends her, earning her gratitude. However, Senj takes the opportunity to mock her further, threatening to reveal her feelings for Zwan to everyone. Zwan counters by exposing that Senj plagiarized his exams, forcing him into a truce to leave Xiao alone. To help her recover from the incident, Zwan gives Xiao a new pair of pants, showing his quiet care for her. Later, a mysterious admirer sends Xiao a bouquet of flowers. Overjoyed, she wonders who it could be, only to discover they are from Senj, who declares his intention to court her. He corners her and forces her into his luxury car, driving her to his home to introduce her to his beloved pig. Senj insists she becomes his girlfriend, but Xiao resists. Meanwhile, Zwan learns of the situation and rushes to her rescue, confronting Senj outside the campus gates. The standoff escalates as both Zwan and Yu demand Xiao's freedom. The three rivals clash, each determined to win her over, as Xiao watches the chaos, unsure how to untangle the web of emotions surrounding her. The next day, Xiao's friends encourage her to express her feelings for Zwan, while Zwan nervously practices confessing his love. However, before they can meet, someone exposes every page of Xiao's diary, revealing her most intimate thoughts about Zwan. Devastated, she runs away in tears. Zwan later arrives with flowers, but Senjel cruelly tramples them, mocking Xiao for being humiliated in front of everyone. Despite Senjel's attempts to console her, Xiao firmly declares that her heart belongs to Zwan and rejects Senjel. Determined to make his feelings clear, Zwan writes on multiple pages of her diary that he wants to be her boyfriend. When Xiao finds the messages, she is overjoyed and confesses that she's loved him since they were kids. Touched, Zwan admits his fear of losing her, and they share an emotional hug while everyone applauds, except for Chen and Senjel, who are consumed with envy. Xiao, feeling insecure about never having kissed anyone, seeks advice from her friends. Meanwhile, Chen confronts Swan, blaming him for the death of her twin sister, who drowned in a lake, and demanding that he be her boyfriend as restitution. Swan apologizes for the tragedy but refuses to betray his feelings for Xiao. Later, Xiao, dressed beautifully, nervously meets Swan. He compliments her appearance, and she jokingly warns she might faint if he keeps flirting. Despite rumors and teasing from others about their relationship, Swan reassures her that gossip cannot separate them. As their bond deepens, Xiao longs to kiss Swan but misreads his signals when he bends down to tie her shoes instead. Feeling uncertain, she wonders if he truly loves her. Swan then shares his personal sanctuary in the library, a place he values deeply, as a gesture of trust. There, Xiao learns they were childhood friends who often quarreled. She recalls thinking Swan was allergic to girls because he avoided touching her, but Swan reveals that she always made him nervous. Now, he holds her lovingly, calling her the best thing in his life. In a tender moment, Swan corners Xiao unexpectedly, giving her a kiss that feels magical. Their connection blossoms, and they officially become a couple. Swan jokingly tells Xiao her lips are irresistible and dreams of kissing her everywhere. Xiao, elated, wakes up the next morning excited for their date. Playfully, Swan shares an ice cream with her, teasing that sharing it connects their souls. However, Chen schemes to ruin their happiness. She trips Xiao, then demands an apology, going so far as to tell her to kiss her shoes. When Xiao stands up for herself, Chen raises her hand to strike, but Swan intervenes, siding with Xiao. Later, when Xiao injures her finger, Swan gently sucks the wound to stop the bleeding, prompting a teacher to scold him for being inappropriate. Swan defends Xiao, proudly declaring her as his girlfriend, but he is still expelled for the act. Returning home, Swan encounters Chen, who begs him to date her. He refuses, and Chen pleads for a kiss. Their argument is interrupted by Chen's furious mother, who accuses Swan of causing her daughter's twin's death and warns him not to kill Chen with heartbreak as well. Desperate to get Swan's attention, Chen chases him but tragically falls down the stairs, leaving her wheelchair-bound. Stricken with guilt, Swan visits Chen in the hospital and promises to care for her until she recovers. Meanwhile, Xiao struggles with jealousy as Chen continues to interfere, spying on their moments together. Xiao confronts Swan, but Chen's obsession reaches dangerous levels. She traps Xiao in a freezing storage room. As Xiao's body begins to numb, Swan discovers her and heroically breaks in, saving her life by warming her in his arms. At the hospital, Swan publicly declares Xiao as his girlfriend. Their love triumphs despite Chen and her mother's attempts to keep them apart. Though the road is fraught with challenges, Swan and Xiao's relationship grows stronger, proving that their connection is worth fighting for. Xiao's life takes a dramatic turn when Swan is offered the chance to study astronomy in the United States, fulfilling his lifelong dream. However, he hesitates to tell her, fearing it will break her heart. When Xiao eventually finds out, Swan decides to reject the opportunity, but Xiao refuses to let him give up his dreams. She jokingly warns him that if he breaks up with her, she'll haunt him like a vengeful spirit. Swan reassures her that their love will endure any distance and, for the first time, openly confesses his love. Meanwhile, Chen, feeling left out and consumed by jealousy, burns a photo of Xiao, vowing to never let Swan be with anyone else. One evening, Xiao stays over at Swan's house, and since she has no pajamas, he offers her one of his. Seeing her in his clothes stirs his feelings, but Xiao tells him she's not ready for intimacy. That night, they dream about each other, longing yet content in their love. The next day, tragedy strikes when Chen suffers a heart attack. Doctors diagnose her with a rare condition. Later, Xiao and Swan share a romantic kiss on the beach, only to hear the desperate cries of a child whose sister is drowning. Paralyzed by the trauma of his past, Swan is unable to act. Xiao dives into action, saving the child, and helps Swan confront his guilt over his sister's death, reminding him it was an accident. With her support, Swan begins to heal and embrace the present. Shortly after, Swan accompanies Chen to a seminar in another city. Xiao misses him deeply but learns Chen's health is deteriorating, requiring a life-or-death surgery. During this time, Swan confides in Xiao that he's decided to accept the U.S. opportunity. Though it breaks her heart, Xiao encourages him to chase his dreams, promising their love will remain strong. They part tearfully but with unwavering faith in their relationship. 2 years pass. Co graduates from medical school and begins working as a pediatrician. She and Swan stay connected through calls and messages. One day, Swan excitedly announces that he's returning home. Overjoyed, Co eagerly awaits his arrival, but devastating news follows. Swan's plane has gone missing, and reports confirm it crashed upon landing. Chen delivers the news, and though others try to console her, Co refuses to believe it. She accuses them of conspiring to deceive her, insisting she would feel it in her soul if Swan were truly gone. Days of anguish pass as Co clings to the hope that Swan is alive. She revisits places filled with their memories, reliving their love story. Overcome with grief, she finds comfort in her friends, though her heart remains restless. One day at the hospital, Co encounters a patient wearing the same cartoon-patterned boxer Swan had on the day they first met. Pulling back the curtain, she is stunned to see Swan, alive and smiling. He explains that while the crash was real, a doctor saved his life, and he spent months recovering. Seeing Co, he declares her the woman of his life. In an emotional reunion, Swan kisses her with a passion that erases all the pain of the past 2 years. Their love, stronger than ever, reignites with a vow to cherish every moment together. As they embrace, Swan whispers to Co, "You're my everything, and I want to spend every morning of my life waking up beside you, telling you how much I love and adore you." And so, their story becomes a testament to love's endurance, proving that no distance, obstacle, or tragedy can diminish the power of true devotion.